Hey everybody, zjayfi here again. I'm making another video for the OGC Facebook page. I'm Zachary Finifrock on Facebook, zjayfi on YouTube, and zjayfi on PlayStation Network. Uh, I just wanted to mention a few things that I forgot last night about raid builds, and I also wanted to show you guys a couple other builds that I use just to have fun in PvE. A couple of things that I want to talk about that I forgot in these raid builds was weapon modifications. For my P416, I use the 8% damage to elite sight, muzzle brake for 5% damage to elite. Obviously, the extended mag can be difficult to get, but if you keep grinding, you will eventually come across that extended magazine. I also use extra to crank it up to 61 total rounds if you put one in the chamber. Uh, and this one here is dealer's choice. I like to use the 5% extra critical hit chance because critical hits are a big part of a berserk build, especially since I'm running strained on this. So I want more critical hits. But you can absolutely put in stability, reload speed. I wouldn't recommend accuracy because I think the P416 is accurate enough as it is. I think it'd be a waste in it. But if this was an LMG, accuracy would probably be beneficial to it. Um, this particular LMG, I have the 8% damage to elite, and then I have everything rigged for stability. And I'll show you why. It's because this one has extra. It does not have optimized. So this is all uh, to compensate for the weapon handling that becomes missing when you put unhinged on it. But let's say you didn't have extra there and you were running, say, this particular SMG. You could go ahead and put the 8% holosight on there. And since you have optimized, you have the 15% weapon handling. So you could take these out and you could go ahead and put in anything that you wanted here, whether it was damage to elites or accuracy, increased rate of fire, or if you wanted to put the large pouch on here, it would absolutely be fine. I would still stick with the angle grip for the stability because the LMGs kick like a mule. Everybody knows that. But you could pretty much do what you want when you have optimized on there. If you don't, like this one does not, and you have extra, you should spec out for stabilization. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is I don't have any hazard protection in my raid build. As you can see right there, my typical raid build, which I'm running right now, does not have any hazard protection. Now, that is a problem because parts of the raid absolutely require hazard protection. And so what I do is when we get past Boomer, and I know we're going down into Weasel, where we know there's going to be poisonous gases, and then on through Buddy and Lucy, where there's going to be explosions and seeker mines and that sort of thing, I put on this Gila Guard mask. And you can see it doesn't drain my health at all. It actually improves my armor mildly. But since this is my second piece of Gila Guard, I get the 20% hazard protection for the set bonus, and I also have 39% hazard protection on the mask. I do lose a touch of damage to elites, I think about 14%, maybe 15%. But that is not a big deal, especially since Buddy and Lucy aren't elites, they're robots, and it's much better to be protected against the hazards of the poison than it is to have that extra 15% damage to elites. So I put this mask on for that particular section of the raid. I realized I forgot to mention that in my video last night, and that's important. You are going to need some sort of hazard protection to get through a certain section. So get yourself, if it's not a mask, get yourself some other piece that has hazard protection on it, or even if it's just two pieces of Gila Guard and a pair of gloves that have 10% hazard protection, something along those lines. You are going to need a little bit of it for the middle two bosses of the raid. When it comes to Razorback and Boomer, I don't wear this. I wear this damage mask because that hard hitting is going to make such a difference. Those extra 15% damage to elite are going to make a big difference against Razorback and against Boomer. So yeah, find a way to add hazard protection into your raid build. A couple other builds that I didn't get a chance to show you guys last night. This rolling LMG build is a lot of fun. I don't want to go too much into detail about it. I'll just show you guys the stats are 42% weapon damage, 45% LMG damage. I think the LMG hits for like 36. Yeah, 36, basically 36. You could probably dial it up to 39 or 40. I know it can be done. But basically, this is mostly pieces that are in my other builds, except for the Petrov chest piece that I've modified for weapon damage, and I did use a Gila Guard holster in this build. I believe I'm wearing 3 pieces of Gila in this build. I don't know why I'm not using Pulse. They just turned out to be the best things. Efficient and hard hitting, LMG damage gloves, and my healthy Gila Guard knee pads. But the fun thing about this build, which is based on the Sweet Dreams talent, the rolling reload, evasive, while equipped, dodging reloads 25% of your current weapons magazine. You never have to do any reloading of any sort. A lot of people use the exotic holster for this trick. A lot of people use filler up, but with this one, you don't ever have to reload, ever. You can fire, and you'll get 25 rounds back every time you reload, or every time you roll. A lot of people are like, well, you're gonna look like an asshole rolling around. Well, yeah, but I'm never gonna run out of ammo on this. And if you are in a situation where you need to roll, but you're pinned down behind cover, you're probably not going to get shot making this maneuver. It's really not difficult, and you will never ever have to reload ever. You can make it to cover just with 2 or 3 rolls. Let's say you're down to 20 rounds. You've been smoking some people. Okay, I need to reload. You can double tap, make it across, and you're fully back up and fired. It's a lot of fun. It's not the most effective thing in the world. I wouldn't use it for the raid probably, but it is definitely effective and fun in PvE to never run out of bullets and to be able to constantly shoot through an entire mission just by dodging back and forth. And then this is one of my favorite builds that I ever did. This I call Critical Berserk. This is an absolutely insanely extreme build. This build is based on the critical hit and berserk principle. I put the Eagle Bearer into it, but I think honestly it might even do more damage with strained. It probably would, because then your critical hit damage is going to go up for every 10% of your armor that's depleted. So let's go ahead and pop that in there. And obviously this one is, I think, geared up for, no, it's been altered for the earlier part of the video, but for this particular one I go with the critical hit chance on everything, because we're going to want that critical hit. It's going to make a big difference. Remember, this is a PvE build. You're not going to want to try something insane like this in the raid. But this is the original Berserk chest piece that I used. I showed you in my build last night. Nothing different about it. It's that same Wyvernware mask, but the Wyvernware has the full set. So we have the 7% crit hit damage, 10% critical hit chance, 10% hard hitting. And I did put a Gila Guard holster in this one because it's healthy, but it also has the 10% critical hit damage in it. I have critical on the backpack. That's another Wyvern piece, helps me build it up. I have the Wyvern knee pads, also comes with crit chance, and completes the trilogy. So all of this is designed for critical hits, and that means we have clutch. Clutch requires you to have 4 or less blues in order to run it, but critical hits restore 20% health and 1% armor, and I've got 12% assault rifle damage on this one. So as long as we can keep landing critical hits, we will stay healthy. The only problem is that you are absolutely a glass cannon. You're not going to want to expose yourself. You're not going to want to face tank. Like I said, this is probably not raid viable, but it is a blast in PvE. So I've got Jefferson all queued up here for challenge. We're going to go in here and just absolutely melt some people, and give you guys a look at what something like this would look like. And you can think about if you would want to build a critical hit berserk build of your own, or any kind of critical hit build, maybe critical hit SMG, something along those lines. There's not an enemy strong enough in the game to resist this sort of thing. It just tears through whatever it might be. So if you think this is something that you might enjoy, just absolutely shred me. Watch me just shred this gold bar. Of course, you're going to get knocked a lot if you try to face tank like that. You cannot face tank like I was trying to do there. But I am just trying to demonstrate the damage of this weapon. I'm not particularly trying to... I'm not particularly trying to complete this mission. But you can absolutely tear people apart. And you can have a lot of fun with it, and you will probably be the damage leader on your team every single time. I've actually kept up with an Eagle Bearer with this particular piece. It is so hard hitting. It is just absolutely the hardest hitting build I've ever seen. You can see right there, that clutch kicked in. That's how you keep healthy in this. You stay in cover, and you keep clutch filling your health up. Even those tanky guys with the crowns over their head, they go right down. Here's a big tanky guy. I bet I could finish him in one. Oh yeah, look at that. Not even half my magazine. Well, yeah, it was a whole magazine. It was a whole magazine. But you can just absolutely tear everybody apart. So thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you got some good ideas here. Look at that. It's almost 3 guys. Would have been 3 guys right there with one magazine if he had me run around the corner there. Unfortunately. Well, I gotta jump off. Thanks so much. You can contact me zjayfi on YouTube, zjayfi on PlayStation Network, and Zachary Finifrock on Facebook. Please comment. Let me know what you guys think about this insanely risky build. I find it's a lot of fun to run. I'll see you guys online.